Alright, we're at our fishing spot here, almost. We just got to go through these woods here. I wasn't gonna do video of this because it's kind of difficult to get through, but if I'm not on the bike, it's not too bad. You can probably hear the river in the background. We got a little like stream that comes off the river here, and then we got the spillway that we're going to fish. Great. I got my pole stuck in a tree. How did my bail open? See if I can get this out of these branches. Some kind of creature squeaking over there. So we got this rickety old bridge that we cross. It's feeling a little, some of the planks are feeling a little soft these days. Just heard a big splash. Something splashing around in here. I don't know what kind of animal it could be. So now the river, I noticed, seemed like it was up because of the rains we've had, and I assume they've had some rains up north, which is good, but the only problem with it is if it's still rushing, it brings a lot of weeds with it. So then there's a lot of weeds in the water that you get caught on. Looks like a guy got a fish out there. That looks like it's about average depth here. Now we just pissed off a heron that just took off. So I'm going to try and drag my bike down underneath here so I don't have to leave it up here on top, just for security reasons. So I'm going to turn the camera off for a second while we try and do that. Alright, so we're going in the water here. It seemed to be pretty clean. Luckily there's no garbage circulating over here, and the water came up. Let's get this branch out of the way. I left my bike up top over there because it's pretty difficult to drag that thing down here. Okay, so I'm going to start out with something a little different today. A little minnow jig. What do you call it? Bobby Garland. I haven't used it that much in here. It's not my go-to. So we got pretty good depth today. So I'm thinking there should be fish in here. We only got one guy in the water and a couple other guys on the shoreline over there. So it's gonna get loud. Yeah, see, even where I stand here is underwater. Alright, so we're going to be fishing in this little triangle thing here and then out in the open water. And if this little jig doesn't work for us, I'm going to switch over to my go-to. But I just wanted to try this out, something different. I don't know how well this is going to work because it doesn't really do anything. You got to kind of do it yourself. Wow, this is really loud. The water is pretty strong. It'll be interesting to see if we get anything on this thing. See, it's not real heavy. It doesn't get under the water real good, I don't think. Oh, there we go. Got one right away in the corner here, coming back up. Oh, it's a white bass. Okay, we'll take that. And a lot of other people probably take this too, literally. Feels pretty warm. This guy's really fighting. There he is. Nice little white bass to start off the day. So he likes this little clear jig. They might like this better than the hair jig that I normally use. But I don't know about the bass. We'll have to see. He was sitting right on this edge here. Seems to ride a little high though, that's the only thing. We'll have to see. We'll give it a shot. I'm just going to let it drift. Got some weeds on here, but I mean anything that mimics a minnow, and obviously a minnow, you should do well. Hopefully these things have good hooks on them. There we go. I had a little smallie on. He grabbed the tail. You see he pulled it off here. He didn't get the hook. It was a smaller one. I shouldn't really have to do a heck of a lot with this jig either, because the river is going to provide the action for me. Felt something banged into something. I could be banging into minnows or shad down there. Really seems to activate these fish in this this hard water. Oh, something coming around that corner again, like that I've talked about before. They hit it when you come around the corner towards the slower water. Another white bass. Maybe this is the white bass go-to. A little bigger one. Pretty nice size one. This is a keeper for most people. Nice little guy right here. I mean, I'm not necessarily looking for white bass though. So if this is like a white bass magnet, then we might have to switch over to our other jig. We'll have to see. We can get a smallie to hit this thing. Got something out in the middle there, drifting it, giving us a little fight here. Little bass, I think. Popped off. I don't know if he had it that well because he pulled the tail off it. Let's see if I can get this thing on here a little better. So they get a better chance of getting the hook. This thing is all shredded. I really like to just drift it though. I don't like to do anything because then that just brings it in faster. I want to keep it in them rapids as long as possible. And we got something coming around the corner here into this slower water. I don't know, for some reason these fish don't feel as secure as they do on that other jig. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the hook. He thumped it pretty good coming around that corner, top of the mouth. Nice little smallie. Yeah, he's hooked pretty good. Yeah, see, this thing doesn't hook up real well. It was in the roof of his mouth, not in the lip. There he is. I'm away for a good camera shot, good photo shot. Let's see if I can get this minnow hooked up a little better because it's kind of tore up. Drifting it and just seeing where they hit it. That's pretty much how it's going right now. If they follow it. Got another one. He didn't wait for it to get around that corner. He hit it in that hard white water there. Feels like a smaller one, I think. Oh, another white bass. Yeah, this looks like it's definitely the go-to for white bass. I haven't gotten a lot of white bass this year though, so that's fine. There he is. A little smaller one than that other one. Let's see how my jig's doing here. They're just tearing up this. They're just tearing this jig up here. And then it comes to the edge here, and then you hope something chase it in and smack it on the edge here. But they don't hit it on the fast water. But it seems like maybe I've done all I can do with this one jig. So I'm gonna put on my go-to jig. They saw that other jig, and now they're hooked on that. They're really the perfect water depth too. I got confidence in this jig though, so I'm not going to give up on it quite yet. Feels like there's a lot of shad or minnows up in this. So if there's any more fishermen coming, they should be coming pretty soon. I'm just going to keep tossing it out. There we go. Something just, that was kind of a weird hit there. I'm guessing it's a white bass. It's small. No, it's a little tiny smallie. It was kind of just, it felt, I don't know, the hit felt weird. A little guy here. Little guy. still got my biking gloves on. I was just going to say, a long time ago when the fishing was really good and the big bass were up here, you could leave them hanging down there at the bottom and just let it swim along there, and a big bass would just come up on it and smack it. You just leave it hang there in the bottom, just let it swim. Alright, we're still on that last cast. Last cast. Officially. Throw it up there high. Is that a fish? Ah! We had something. It could have been a snag though, because it felt kind of big. I think we may have snagged something up there. See, there's no scale on it. I thought I felt movement. I thought I felt it move, but we didn't hook up. Yeah, I keep getting weeds with this other jig. That other one kind of slips right through them. Trying to keep it up in this higher area here. See if something's running a little higher. There's only so much you can do though. Last cast. I threw that way up in the spillway there. So I gotta get all my slack back. We're gonna back up a little bit to give us an even different angle here. He's running straight in front of us. I think we've pretty much done all we can do today. Let's fold this rod in half so it'll be a little easier to deal with. Alright, we had a pretty good day today, maybe got about half dozen or so, a little more. Some pretty decent white bass, a couple of little smallies.